friends. I am Regina Breach, and I want to talk to you guys today about living in the daily miracle of life. I look around my life, and every day I can find some sort of miracle, something amazing that is happening for me. And it is such a beautiful way to live, to be in this dance with life and look for all of the gifts that it is giving you, because it is giving us gifts all the time. And of course, my life has not always been like this. It was definitely not like that in the past. It has evolved into this, which is what I want to talk about today, because there's so much magic that we are missing out on. But yeah, my life did not, if you guys have watched my videos, you know my past, and that I have struggled with, bouts of depression here and there, just like a deep confusion, just frustration with my life, frustration with myself, struggling. Struggle is real, right? It was real. And I used to be paralyzed by indecision. I don't know if any of you guys feel me on this, but the indecisiveness, it could have been a tiny decision or a huge life-changing decision, didn't matter. I was like paralyzed by the indecision. And eventually the suffering from being indecisive and not actually moving forward in your life is so frustrating. You get tired of your own bullshit, essentially. I heard Elizabeth Gilbert say that one time. You get tired of your own bullshit and you finally make a change. And that's essentially what happens. Like, life moves you, life pushes you to finally, break through that, right? Change, do something differently, because what you're doing right now is not working. It was not working for me. And so that's what I want to talk about today. How do we live happier? How do we live happier and more joyful? And how do we live with like a sense of inner peace and a calm mind and focused action and living in the miracle of life every day? This beautiful dance. And it doesn't mean that, everything in life is peachy keen. It still comes with its ups and downs, but the ups and downs become fewer and they become shorter, and you recognize them for what they are, and you see the beauty in them, and you begin to learn and grow from them. And it's not this like struggle that takes you out for months or years at a time. You recognize it, you recognize something needs to shift, you change it, and bam, you're back, right? You live more fully. And so for me, and I'm sure many of you guys have heard this so much, meditation changed the game for me. Like, changed the game, changed my life, changed everything. And it can be, 20 minutes in the morning, 20 minutes in the afternoon. I personally sit for an hour in the morning. First thing, leave that phone on airplane mode. I put my phone on airplane mode at night. Leave that phone on airplane mode and drop in. And it's crazy because meditation is literally changing the neural pathways in our brain. And so in these moments of reactivity where we used to react to something, right? Or we used to live in that reactivity, it creates this pause. It creates a moment, just like a tiny moment. And in that tiny little pause, we get to choose, am I going to react to this situation, or am I going to take a deep breath? And then bit by bit, that's how things begin to change. Relationships begin to change. Communication begins to change. You begin to feel more open, right? This is all from just sitting and connecting with yourself. Like, life is crazy. So when we sit and we connect to our body, we remember that something's breathing us, right? It just slows us down and things begin to change. Life will shift before your eyes from just sitting still with yourself. It's crazy. My friend likes to talk about a purposeful pause. My friend Kristen, she brought this up to me recently, and I recognize that I do this all the time. So throughout the day, taking a purposeful pause. A purposeful pause means you're outside and you're passing by a beautiful flower that's blooming, and you stop and you just take 1 minute to check out the magic of that flower. Check out the magic of the hawk flying by. A purposeful pause. Stop to watch those kids laughing on the playground. It almost makes me emotional, even just speaking about it, because you recognize what is actually happening in life. You take yourself out of the craziness of your mind and what you have to do and what's not getting done and what's causing you to suffer, and you look at something bigger. When I lived at this ashram for a summer, I lived at a spiritual center, and that's pretty much all we did was purposefully pause. The whole day was spent in contemplation, looking at trees or looking at the koi fish in the pond. And I'm so grateful for those moments, because now throughout my day, if I'm running on the trail, I'll be trail running, and I'll see a beautiful something, a flower, a snake, something, and I stop and I check in, and it just reminds you that you're on this huge planet and that all of this life is happening around you. And it just takes you right back here for one moment, and you see the like how could the intricacy of something that made this flower not also be creating this beauty in my life? Just brings you right back. Which is again going into being less busy and being more focused, like staying out of the distraction of life and being more focused, like I know when I'm distracting myself, I know when I'm about to go scroll and there's something that I feel like I should do, right? So how can we just slow down a little bit more to know, to decide what is an action that we should be taking and what isn't? And naturally, when all of these things begin to happen, when you begin to meditate and take the time, you want to treat your body better and you begin to eat healthier. And for my personal journey, I don't drink alcohol anymore. And it just kind of naturally happened. I remember I would start taking a sip of alcohol and I would feel disconnected. I would feel disconnected from myself, from my body, from spirit almost instantly. And eventually my body just started rejecting it. But all these things begin to happen naturally. You start to just shift your mind, your body, your spirit. It all happens, right? And moving, being in nature, moving your body. I go trail running, you guys, and it's freaking hilarious because I come down the trail like a crazy person. I'm like, my music's pumping, I'm running, I'm feeling like, I literally feel like an Olympic athlete. It's hilarious. And I'm probably like jogging at a not a very fast pace, but in my mind, I'm like winning a damn marathon. It's hilarious, but it feels so good. And so I can't go through my day without moving my body. I know if I start to feel off or I start to feel disconnected or frustrated or irritated, it's because I have not been outside. I have not moved my body. Some form of movement, even if it's a walk down the street, right? It just gets the blood flowing and gets you moving. So all of these things take discipline. I get that. It takes courage. And, life will continue to push us and cause us to suffer and struggle until, bam, we're ready to make a change, to make some progress forward, because it gets so good. And then life shows up amazing. Again, these daily miracles will begin to happen. And like Michael Bernard Beckwith says, your discipline becomes your bliss-a-plin. You can't not do these things because you feel so good. And you begin to radiate. You just begin to radiate beautiful energy and joy because you're caring for yourself and you're caring about your life and those people around you. And it creates this beautiful ripple effect into your community. I mean, taking care of yourself in this way creates ripple effects that we'll never know. We will truly never know. So here we are creating a better world for ourselves, our bodies, our peeps. And life is supporting us in this. When we begin to set these intentions, we can ask for help. We can ask for help from this energy, this life force that created us. Help me find the devotion. Help me find the discipline. I don't feel like it this morning. What can I do? Bam. And you make an action. You take an action and something shifts. We are supported. Woo! Makes me feel high talking like this. Ooh, I love it. So, if any of this resonated with you, if any of you guys feel a call to change or shift something and you want support with that, or even just to talk about what that would even look like, what's the baby step? What's the next baby step? Because shifting everything in your life can feel so overwhelming. And for me, it was this natural progression. I started to do one thing and all of a sudden this began to happen and then this began to happen. So really life is guiding you on this journey. It's not something that you have to completely transform your entire life. It doesn't work like that. We're human beings and we have to just take one small step at a time. And if you would like support on that journey, message me, let me know. Let's connect over a phone call and see what's up for you. I would love to support you in this magic journey we call life. Woo! Have an amazing day. Do something for yourself. Sit, get outside, do something. Love yourself. Love yourself. I love you. Be bold in your truth. And I will see you guys soon.